Hey Virgo, welcome to Aria Moon Tarot, and thank you so much for being here. This is your love reading for anyone with Sun, Moon, or Rising in Virgo. It's a general reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If it doesn't, check your other placements. All right, let's get started. So let's see what you have. You have release. And to clarify that, we have the Page of Cups. And the Queen of Swords. Okay. What I'm seeing about you is like you're a person who wears a lot of hats. There's a lot. There are several different facets of your personality. I think sometimes it's even hard for you to know which parts of you to pursue. I think you're a person who maybe has been left questioning, like, am I on the right path? Is this the right direction for me? And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that you have so many options. If you are a person that's been told a lot, like, that you're great at a variety of things, or it might not even be that it's a variety of things. It could be like two things, but they could be things that are completely opposite of each other. Like you could be, on one hand, super analytical and like scientific, and on the other hand, such an artist, and you don't know which direction to go in. I could see that for a lot of you, but really it's like you can play so many different roles. For some reason, when I'm saying this, I'm actually getting the image of like someone putting on a play, or putting on some sort of performance, and literally playing every part in the play. That's you. It's like you really could do it. Like some people wouldn't be able to be cast as any of the roles in the play. They would fail at it. They would be miserable at it. They wouldn't be able to play the part. They wouldn't be able to remember the lines. They wouldn't be able to do whatever it took to wear all those hats. But you're a person who can. And because you're able to wear all those hats, I think sometimes you don't know which one you like the best. It makes it harder. It's like you have so many options, but it can at times feel harder to... I just got so distracted because I looked over at your card and realized you picked crown, and we're talking about wearing a variety of hats. So this could be one of the hats that you wear. Yeah, I got super distracted there. I'm sorry. Let me try to get back on track there. I'm not sure if I'll be able to recover whatever I was about to say, but it's almost harder for you because you have the ability to do so many different things. You have the ability to play so many different roles. You have the ability to be great at it. And that's not something that a lot of people possess. So it can be harder for you, someone who has so many options, than someone who really only has one option. Some people, they're like, well, I'm good at this, so that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to pursue, or that's how I'll be. And for you, there are way more possibilities, and it can feel sometimes like you are like two different people living in one body because your interests are so varied and because your skill set is so vast. And your ability is really, really great. That I'll just leave it at that. You have the ability to do things that would require a very different skill set, and most people only have one or the other, and you have either both or you have all. So yeah, that's a blessing, and I think at times it has felt like a curse to you because it will leave you confused. It will leave you not knowing which way to go. I think a lot of times you feel misunderstood. And I think that it's taken you a long time for you to really understand yourself. And there is a complexity to your entire makeup, your entire personality. I can understand why it can be hard for you to understand yourself. and then on top of that, to expect someone else to understand it can be challenging for other people to get it. But I do feel like this is something that you are growing into, or maybe you have already made this transformation where you're starting to be able to look at all of these different facets of yourself and accept them all and appreciate them all. And in some cases, maybe even pursue them. Like if there's something that you've put on hold because it didn't seem practical, or it's just not the path you chose. You chose to go this other way, but you always had this calling to do something else. In a lot of ways, you're able now to pick back up where you left off, to fulfill that part of you. Like you're learning that all of these areas of you need to be fulfilled. And that's kind of the challenge in it, because you have a lot of areas that you would like to fulfill. There's a lot you want to do. There's a lot you want to experience. There's a lot you want to know. And it can be a lot to do all at once. So it can be a little challenging. You can even sometimes get like shiny object syndrome. Back at the crown again. Speaking of shiny things, you can sometimes get shiny object syndrome and kind of like get distracted, and like you were trying to accomplish one thing and now you're off doing this other thing, and it all feels good. It all feels like it's feeding your soul. It all feels like stuff you want to do, but it can be a lot to take on all at once. So the thing about this is a really great strength that you have, because you have this ability to transform from one state of being to the next, or from one state of consciousness to the next even. Really effortlessly, like in a way that most people, I don't even want to say most people wouldn't be able to flow between these different states so effortlessly, because it's probably deeper than that. I think it's that most people don't even have all of these states to flow between. They just might not have the skill set to even try to move from one state to the other. They might stay kind of static. You have a real complexity to you, and it's not static at all. It really moves and it flows. So you have learned, or are learning, how to release a lot of the things that have held you back around this. You're learning how to release even a state of mind or state of being that allows you to then step into the next state, if that's part of what you need to do. Like if you have to wear one hat, play one role, and then you need to switch into another role, you're able to release the parts of the previous role that wouldn't serve you in the next, and kind of like transition, if that makes sense. Like think of it as a costume change. And for someone else, it would be hard for them to get out of the costume and into the next costume so they could play the next role. And for you, you can effortlessly shed the previous costume, put on the new one, and step into this new place and kind of like use these new skills. So learning how to do that is, I guess, essential for you fulfilling your life's purpose. I'm already picking up on what might be going on with your life purpose, because it seems like there's going to be a lot of variety in your life, and you were meant to experience a lot of variety. You wouldn't have all of these skill sets, and you wouldn't be called to challenge yourself to be able to move from one state to the next if it wasn't necessary for you. So I think this must be very necessary. It's necessary for you to experience a lot of different things, play a lot of different roles, maybe even travel. We'll see when we look in your tarot. It could be that you are meant to travel and experience different cultures and experience just a wide variety of exciting things throughout your lifetime. And this is why you need to be able to transition effortlessly. I feel like this is giving me kind of the energy that, yes, you have worn different hats throughout your life so far, and you might continue to do that, but everything that you've learned while you play these different roles is going to come full circle at some point. It's going to be instrumental in your life's purpose. So the fact that that's coming through makes me wonder if maybe some of you feel like you may have veered off onto the wrong path at some point, and felt like you needed to step away from something to kind of like to kind of go the right way. And you may have had in your mind at some point, or you may still have in your mind, that there was a right and a wrong way to do this. And now you're starting to realize, or you will realize, that all of these paths are going to converge. So it may be that this has been a puzzle to you. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know why you're doing it. And you kind of like, you dabble and you try different things and you're all over the place. But at some point, all of these different paths are going to converge into one. All of these different skills that you have acquired, all of these different experiences that you've had are going to reveal themselves as like so instrumental to whatever it is you're trying to do. So even if you felt a bit scattered, this is telling me that your life purpose is going to be fulfilled by all of these varied experiences. And even if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, it will all come together. It will all make a beautiful puzzle at some point. I also want to just point out before we move on to your tarot that you are not to underestimate your intelligence. So you have this super intuitive part of you, but you're also really, really smart. And you're smart enough to find your way around any new situation. That's a big part of why you're able to play so many roles. So don't underestimate that. If life throws curveballs at you constantly, and maybe some of this like some of this variety that I'm picking up on, maybe some of it's not by choice. But if you look at it, you'll notice you've always been able to succeed. You've always been able to find your way. Even if that was like you're thrown into a new experience, you're thrown into something where you feel like a fish out of water, you're thrown into a new job, whatever it might be, you're always able to figure it out. You're always able to get the basics down and start moving and start accomplishing, start achieving, even in an uncomfortable situation. So do not underestimate that. You've got that intelligence. You've got that intelligence with you on top of a really intuitive nature, which is, it could be that some of that duality that I'm picking up on, that part of your personality that is like, you're really good at this and you're also really good at that, and they don't seem like they go together at all, but somehow they are combined into one within you. Yeah, so let's look at your tarot. I'm going to move some of this. I'll leave this card here for now because this energy of release, as I'm just looking at this card, yeah, this energy of release and transformation, I feel like it's something that you are meant to do. So you might be meant to kind of have like, almost like a lot of different lives. Like you might have, like one career path that you follow for some time and then you switch to something else. You're meant to travel down many paths, is what I'll say. King of Cups. Ah. And the Queen of Cups. And I feel like, what did we have? The Page of Cups. A lot of Cups energy here. King and Queen showing up after the Crown. I don't know. Read into that what you will, but there's, you know, this idea of royalty is really coming through. That was too many cards. King and Queen and the Crown. So there might be kind of an element that you are meant to lead in some way, that you are meant to rule over something, and not in an oppressive way. Don't get me wrong. The Ace of Pentacles. I'm seeing a lot of wealth and material abundance for you. The King of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. This reading is getting very interesting. So I love it. It's taking a little while to shuffle, which isn't ideal, but I do love what's going on here. This is a lot of cards. I just don't want to take this many cards, but I cannot not. So we will go for it. This is a whole lot. And I've been taking the bottom of the deck. Ace of Swords. Wow. I don't think that I've seen this kind of thing in any of the other readings. I don't know that I've ever seen so much crown imagery coming through in like any reading I've ever done, ever. Let's look at your oracle cards, and then we'll kind of like dissect all of this. So you actually had two of these archetype cards. You had the Destroyer and you had the Healer. I'm getting chills, you guys. I can't. We were talking about these two very different parts of your personality that are at odds with each other, and you had the Destroyer and the Healer come out. So yeah. Let's see what else. We have the High Lady of Love and Compassion, Awakening, Endless Possibilities. This is such a gorgeous reading. And Gratitude. Such a gorgeous reading. Wow. I will say that you may be it's not even a may. I feel like in this lifetime you are meant to experience love on a level that you might not even at this point know is possible. I feel like you probably have an inkling. You know what you deserve, you know what you crave, but it might not seem real. But you had the King and Queen of Cups come out. So this is like divine counterpart energy. That's just so gorgeous. I feel like this is a lifetime where you are meant to find your soulmate, where you are meant to find your divine counterpart, whatever that means to you. You might not really relate to the concept of soulmates, but whatever that means to you, to find your best and most suited partner, to find your life partner, is a huge part of your purpose here. To experience love and compatibility on that level is a big part of it. The way the crown is being highlighted, yes, there's a feeling of opulence there. There's a feeling of leadership there. There's also a feeling of this might be about your crown chakra. This could be kind of an indication that you are meant to experience a really deep connection with source power. You're meant to channel knowledge that kind of eludes others. This Emperor card is really giving me these vibes because this kind of like rainbow path thing here is flowing right in through the crown, and I feel like that's what it's like for you. There's like a lot of energy, there's a lot of knowledge, there's a lot of intuition and connection that happens for you through the crown. This is definitely part of your purpose. This might be a matter of you helping to guide others with kind of this leadership energy. There's ultimate fulfillment here for you with this Nine of Pentacles. There's a really beautiful unfolding that you are meant to experience. We have the Ace of Pentacles, and that's kind of like just the start of something, and then we have the 9 down here. So I can see that it can be like this tiny little idea. It could be an inkling for you right now. There's something that you are meant to grow that is going to be a large source of abundance for you. This is about material wealth here. And it's about fulfillment in all of the material ways. So I do want to talk about this Destroyer and Healer because you definitely have some some opposing parts of your personality. You have a lot going on with your personality. You have a lot to offer, a lot to bring to the table. You are gifted and skilled at so many things. This Destroyer card talks about releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for new life. So there's that idea of release again that we had with your first card. Even the imagery here is very, very similar. This is a volcano, of course, and not a tree, but I mean, it looks a heck of a lot like that tree. So there is something here about you releasing, being able to release, and this being a huge part of your purpose. You may be a healer of some sort. Not only did you have the healer card out, but this release, it really feels like a release of energy, and like you might be particularly gifted at clearing energy, or I get this feeling of like distributing energy, like almost breaking it up. So that might resonate for some of you. It feels almost like congested energy that you're able to somehow break through, cut through. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if you are some sort of healer, or if you have looked into the healing arts. Reiki healer is really coming through strong with this card. So in this way, like, you're passionate about serving others. So definitely part of your purpose is to serve others, to help others, the High Lady of Love and Compassion, to help others. I do feel that there is a leadership quality about you, and in a lot of ways, maybe the way that you lead is how you help. That could be the case, because I cannot ignore the crown. Also with that crown energy, and like energy flowing in through the crown chakra, that does all, like, it kind of takes me back to the idea of an energy healer, and like Reiki energy flowing through you. Your awakening and your spiritual process is huge in terms of your purpose here. I think this is something you've already started to fulfill. It looks like there's been a lot of awakening, a lot of realization going on here. It's like you continually reinvent yourself. And I don't think this is something that's going to stop for you. I think you will go out. You have the Fool card come out here. You will kind of step out on a limb. You will forge new paths. You plan a lot, because you see the possibilities. You had endless possibilities here. You see all of the possibilities. You see when something needs to be released. You see when something needs to be let go of and destroyed in order to bring in something new. And in a lot of ways, you are that person that carries in that new energy. I think that there is a huge part of your purpose that has a lot to do with this healing and making things whole again. What's unique about you and your purpose in this lifetime is that you're so knowledgeable. Like, you're knowledgeable enough to understand that the old stuff has to be cleared away in order to usher in the new. And I think that your soul has a much higher purpose in this lifetime than you might have realized, because what I'm seeing here is actually there's gratitude for your soul's return to the earth plane. And this can be gratitude that's coming from yourself, and it can be gratitude that's coming from kind of a higher power, maybe even your guides. But I feel like you were very purposeful and intentional when you chose to incarnate and experience this lifetime. So your purpose is very, very significant. You came here for a particular reason. I feel like it's almost like you've recognized that you're on a special mission, and you're really thankful for the opportunity to utilize everything that you've learned and all the knowledge and wisdom your higher self has kind of stored away. It's like you were waiting for this opportunity. This feels like your purpose is very, very lofty, and I don't want that to overwhelm you, because I think you're perfectly capable of doing this. You are likely already doing this. So don't let it scare you away. Don't let it sound so big that you don't think you can do this. I think you're perfectly capable of doing this. You've definitely had past lives. There's an old soul vibe coming through from this reading strong. I think that because of your past life experiences and because of the experiences you've had so far in this lifetime, you're able to see these endless possibilities. You realize that infinite possibilities exist, and you're here to help other people realize that too. Again, I'm pulled back to that healer. I think you heal people on a deep, deep level. This can be emotional trauma. It can be healing in their physical bodies. It can be energy healing, but I think this is a huge part of your purpose, is to bring that healing, to bring that fulfillment, in a lot of ways to guide people, to lead people into this place of healing. And that's just, it's whatever it is that you, however it is that you do that. I'm just in shock here that that you're showing up as the King of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the Emperor. Really strong leadership energy there. And also, a lot of emotion, a lot of groundedness, a lot of adventurousness showing up here, a lot of intelligence showing up. And this is what we were talking about. You have so many different facets of your personality. You have so many skills to offer and so much experience. Awakening is huge for you. I feel like your awakening may have happened even before you incarnated. Like, not that you really have to awaken when you're in that state, but it's like you came into this knowing. Like you came in knowing somehow, or being naturally gifted at healing. And being very naturally connected to spirit. I wouldn't be surprised if you are drawn to the more mystical things in life, the occult, the energy healing work like we were talking about. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. You kind of know, like you know a lot, you're tapped into a lot. There might even be a lot of things that you are aware of before you've really run across like actual physical evidence of them, or before you found it in a book. You already were innately aware of a lot of these things. I'm really getting the feeling here that you are kind of a jack of all trades. That's the main thing here, and this is what you are meant to share with the world. You're meant to share all of these different parts of yourself, all of these different facets of your personality, all of these different skills that you've developed. You're meant to share it all. You're meant to do it all. You're meant to be both the destroyer and the healer. And not a lot of people can handle that, because these things are at odds with themselves, or with each other. But for you, you can balance that out somehow. Yeah, you balance that out really effortlessly. You're all about ushering in the new. You're all about bringing in new energy, evolved energy, and kind of helping everyone to awaken, pushing people into this state of awakening, definitely leading the way. You've led the way with your own awakening process. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. There's a lot that came through here, a lot of cards, and I'm so glad they came out, because it provided a lot of clarity, and it really let me see how huge your purpose here on earth is, and how much change you are meant to usher in, how much beauty you're meant to show the world, because you're very creative and very inspired. And it feels like your presence is really soothing and healing. So you heal people wherever you go. And I'm sure that's another reason that this gratitude card came out, because people have a lot of gratitude for you. People have a lot of gratitude for everything that you bring them, for the healing energy that follows you, for the way that you will kind of effortlessly pick up on what people need and lead the way for them. People have a lot of gratitude for that in their lives. So they're definitely thankful for you. So yeah, I'm going to leave the reading there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for letting me read your cards. I really love doing this, and I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity. If you liked this reading, if any of these messages resonated, don't forget to like it, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you feel like it. And hopefully I will see you again in another reading really soon. Bye!